It's Soraya here from Australia, and this little video blog is about the light of awareness. This is something I've contemplated on for a long time, as I'm sure you have too. I know that many of you are yoga practitioners, teachers, seekers, or people that simply rest in awareness as it is. For me, the journey was quite a long one. I spent many years in an ashram dedicated to yoga, to meditation, and I was a seeker for many years. Not anymore. I realised being a seeker, you're always seeking something. You haven't arrived. There's no seeking I see now. Everything is right here, right now, and available to all of us. The one thing that we can all say is that I am. I am aware that I am. I am aware that there is what I call myself here. But very often we miss the fact that this awareness can be a key to unlimited freedom. Very often yoga students will come to a class and the instructions are often take your awareness to, observe, become conscious of, notice. During a class, particularly yoga or mindfulness, we're directing our attention to our thoughts, we're observing the thoughts, we begin to realise that we are not the thoughts that are passing through our mind, and this wonderful disidentification frees us. We begin to understand that we do not need to believe our thoughts, and in not believing our thoughts, a great sense of freedom comes. In the same way, we realise through awareness that emotions will arise. There'll be an emotional storm that'll pass through, just like the storms we've been having here on the Sunshine Coast recently. Sky will cloud over, there'll be lightning and thunder and fireworks, massive rain, and then the next day the sun will come out again. In the same way, we begin to realise through mindful living that emotional storms will pass through, that sensations and feelings arise in this physical body and subside. We begin to understand the impermanence of experience, and that there's nothing permanent here that we can absolutely rely on. In fact, even this physical body itself will die and decompose back into the earth one day. So awareness, used as a tool in mindfulness, helps us to realise the impermanence of all things. I like to think of it when we're in a class or we're sitting down for a formal meditation practice, that we pick up that light of awareness just as we'd pick up a torch, and we shine the light on our thoughts, on our feelings, on our observations of what's moving through, on the experience through the five senses: hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, etc. But very often, people that practice meditation, as soon as they finish their formal practice, they put down the torch of awareness and they go back to life. But if we really look at the fact that I know I am, what is it that knows? It's awareness. What is it that's with us constantly, that's the one thing that never changes? Awareness. If I expand that awareness out and as far as I can beyond this physical body, beyond this room, beyond this garden, beyond this Australia, if I expand out, is there a limit? Is there an end to awareness? And when the awareness is in that expanded state, where am I? Where is this physical body that I have identified myself with? In that expanded state of awareness, am I observing this physical body sitting on this chair? Yes. So am I limited to this body? These are questions I invite you to ask yourself. If I am not these thoughts, if I am not the feelings arising and subsiding, if I am not the beliefs that can change, if I am not this personality which is evolving, if I am not this structure, who am I? What is it that knows that I am? Am I the I am that I am? In that expanded state of awareness, consciousness, it's very hard to put words into this, and there are many different philosophies of ways to speak, but I'm wanting this to be plain language because it was never pointed out as easily and simply to me as a seeker. But we need seek no more. What we are seeking is right here, right now, closer than close. Shine this light of awareness. Rest in this light of awareness and ask, is this who I truly am? Or does the ego, the individual separate sense of self, want to take ownership? And in the taking of ownership by this separate egoic self, we feel separate from everything else. We can feel very alone and isolated. And it's in that alone and isolated state that we are seeking oneness, we are seeking connection, and we are seeking happiness. In the expanded state of awareness, without ownership of this individual separate self, all the barriers dissolve. We see that I am you and you are me. This is just consciousness expressing itself through this body with the flavour of Sorayaness, if you like. I know it sounds crazy, but I invite you to explore this. There is a great freedom to be had, and it doesn't cost anything. You might like to read the blog that goes with this. I'm sharing from the bottom of my heart with my upcoming blogs and little videos, because I now experience such a beautiful sense of peace and freedom in my life. I really would love for you to have that too. We've also opened up a global Satsang, which you can join if you go to my website, sorayasaraswati.com. You can actually click on join a Satsang. And a Satsang is simply just like this. We'll take a subject, we'll talk about that subject, we'll take questions. I would love to hear from you and your input as well. And we'll explore. freedom and help to support each other in remaining awake, remaining clear, because it's very easy to slip back into the dream, back into the identification of yourself as a separate, alone self that is suffering. But believe me, it's not necessary. If you'd like to organise a private session, you can do that too. I send you all my love and have a wonderful evening or morning wherever you are. Namaste.